Hello, hello. I think I might have put the music too low. Hello, Charles. Hello, Orchid. Orchid, I knew you would be here. Charles, I hope that you can also be here for the entire stream. I would love that. And Gwen, hi. Bibliocat, hi. Hello. Everyone's here. It's like Super Smash Brothers. Alright, too low. Too high? Too low. This is me talking over the music. How are we doing on the... Yes, Orchid is here for Chaos Wheel. Quarter Stitch also here. Music is good? Okay. So, actually what I'm going to show you. Hi, everybody. Hello. We're doing the wheel, so I don't have my usual project card up, but what I really wanted to show you was... If this works. Spirit City had a Halloween update. Spirit City had a Halloween update, and they added over 200 different decor items and clothing options, as well as a new spirit and this new playlist. So I've been obsessed with the Spirit City Halloween update, and it's all I've been listening to, so it's all you guys get to listen to. Yes, Gwen, it was a good way to lose a few hours. But at first, like, so I've been hoarding up all of my points because you get points the longer that you use the program. I've been hoarding them so that I could buy everything on the Halloween update, which it came out and then I went through and I did. But you know, in like Animal Crossing, when you go into the shop and you like buy all the random clothes and then you forget to change back into your normal outfit and you come out of the changing room looking just crazy. That's what I did. My room looked horrific. I looked horrific. And then of course you spend another couple hours picking out the perfect decor and the perfect outfit. So yes. If you guys aren't familiar with Spirit City, it's the game that you see on screen right now. It's not so much a game as it is a productivity tool and lo-fi environment. Basically, you get this lovely lo-fi room. There's a built-in habit tracker, task list, and oh, thank you Toot for the link there. And timer. So if you do like Pomodoro timers, it's all built into the app. It's fantastic. Bryony, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in, welcome in. Hello, Deonce. Nice to see you. So yeah, check out Spirit City if you're interested. It is very not expensive for what you get. Yeah, you'll get to enjoy the Halloween playlist with me today. If you ever want to change the vibes, so like the thunder and the rain, or even like what time of day or anything, or what activity we're doing, you can do that using the Change the Vibes channel redeem. Although I feel like everyone's going to be saving their points for Wheel of Whips. The outside is new as well. They have 3 or 4 new exteriors depending on the last time you updated. Because when the game launched there was only 1 exterior, and now I think you have a choice of 10, something like that. There's a lot. Right, and let's see. You guys can't really see my supervisor, but he is here, staring me down. And Orchid, thank you so much for redeeming Spin the Wheel. So, if you guys haven't been to a wheel spin stream before, I have put all of my whips and a couple of new options onto a spinner wheel. You can redeem your points, or if you're watching on YouTube, just tell Toot you'd like to do a redeem, and when it comes up, they'll do it. So DG is so handsome. Charles, thank you so much for the sub, the gift sub. Looks like it was Tabitha Sabitha. Thank you so much. Awesome. Okay, that kind of squirreled me because I was just like, oh, it's a gift sub. That's so amazing. Thank you. We always appreciate it here. Okay, so the wheel has been set up. We've got Binks, which is a full coverage. We've got Dinosaur Forest. You have a chance of a sneak peek at an upcoming pattern, a different one from the last wheel spin, a new start, or chat picks my project. So, and if chat picks, then Toot will do a quick poll, like just like a 1-minute poll, to see which project you guys would like. Let's spin, spin, spin. And it is Dinosaur Forest, which happens to be the project I'm already working on. Orchid's hoping for sneak peek. Gigi, you can't actually sleep on the keyboard. You have to sleep like over there. Toot says it's rigged. I hadn't spun the wheel at all. I promise. Oh, yeah, I need to. Yeah, could you guys even see that wheel spin? I tried to turn off the game capture. I think it turned it back on. Oops. Okay, good. Good. So yeah, so we're working on Dinosaur Forest. It may look different from how you remember it because I've restarted it. I was doing it on the 18 count oatmeal Ada. I love the colors. I love the pattern. Hated the Ada. Like to the point where I was dreading working on it because it was just like hurting my hands. So I just couldn't see myself doing another 9,000 stitches on that, so I bit the bullet and I just restarted it. Fiance says we saw nothing, guess we have to spin again. You can spin again in 12 minutes. Oh, hi Gigi. Bye Gigi. Okay. We're configuring the keyboard, the webcam, thank you. Oh, and hi Moon, welcome. Finally Moon can drop into a stream. Moon has had a very busy social life. That's okay. For Moon and everybody else, there's never any pressure to come to a stream. There's never any pressure to talk in the Discord. However you want to engage with the community, with the streams, with the videos, totally up to you. There's never any pressure. We are a very chill community. Oh, Moon says that she missed being here. So, oh, thank you for the hydrate, Moon. We had a little Thanksgiving treat yourself. We got Gong Cha, which is a bubble tea place. It's a big chain. You might have them near you. It's probably my favorite bubble tea place. And this is my favorite drink, which is the strawberry Earl Grey Oreo smoothie. And yes, we peer pressured Moon into getting Gong Cha as well. So yes, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Because clearly everyone is celebrating Thanksgiving today. Not just Canada, it's everybody. I hope you all enjoyed your day off, your turkey, your stuffing. This is a joke. I know nobody actually celebrated. We celebrated in the traditional Canadian fashion, and we got the festive feast from Swiss Chalet yesterday. Charles says I'd vote for 2 turkey days. Yeah, I mean, it's an extra day off, extra round of turkey. Or ham. We usually do like a glazed ham. So good. Yes, I also like the food. It says I only know of one person who celebrated today. I think everybody kind of forgot it was coming up so soon. It does feel like it's earlier than usual. One says, I knew that Canadian Thanksgiving was before American, but I didn't realize it was this early. Yeah, it's usually like mid-October, but like towards the later half of mid-October, if that makes sense. And yeah, it has been so hot until like 2 days ago. Moon says, Toot, me and a friend were very thrown off by the holiday. Oop. My friend says we should rename it to Debate Day. Yeah. Yeah, I felt so bad because Moon usually gets up and messages us when she gets up. And we hadn't heard from her until like 11:30. And Toot was getting really worried because we hadn't heard from her. And then I was like, oh yeah, she's sleeping in because it's Thanksgiving. I was like, oh, right. Federal holiday in the US too. Thanks, Quarter Stitch. Yeah, I'd heard that. I don't know which federal holiday though. Is it just one of those random ones that they made up so you have an extra federal holiday, or is it an actual holiday? Columbus Day, Indigenous Peoples Day. Okay. Nice. So that kind of like lines up with it being Thanksgiving here. Dude says I hate it because it overshadows Halloween so much. I don't know. I feel like Thanksgiving, I was trying to find the right name for the holiday that today is. I feel like it's a much bigger deal in the States. I've never really experienced that in Canada where it's like everyone has to get together and it's this big like important holiday. I just don't think it's that big of a deal. It's an excuse to have a day off and get together for a meal, but it's not like a huge deal that people have a ton of traditions around. I mean, I could be wrong. Sorry about that. Charles can't spell Indigenous and that's your only complaint about Indigenous Peoples Day. Yeah, that I always have to spell check Indigenous. It's when some businesses don't take off. That makes sense, Deontay. I feel like there are always some businesses that just don't take off holidays. And Charles says since ours is on a Thursday, people usually get Friday off too. Yeah, it's like a bigger thing because you've got Thursday and then you'll have the Friday off or you'll go shopping like crazy people. And then you're off the weekend. Gwen says people around here try to put up Christmas decorations and play Christmas songs right after Halloween. And I grew up demanding that people wait until Thanksgiving so that I wouldn't have Christmas stuff all over your birthday. That's the other thing. In Canada, there is no like post-Halloween barrier. We have like a week of Thanksgiving, a month of Halloween, and then we're right into Christmas. And the only time I kind of understand that is if you're trying to like make stuff for Christmas gifts, you have to get started that early. But for everyone else who's just buying stuff, like, you don't need to get started that early. One says, the company I work at is in finance and I was so mad about how busy we were because everywhere was supposed to be closed. Ugh, that sucks. I used to work in healthcare, right? And you can't really close for the day when people need your help to like cook meals and change bandages and stuff. But we always tried to arrange it so there was like as few clients as possible so more people could get the day off, and we usually managed to arrange it so only one person had to work on like Christmas and New Year's and stuff. And I would volunteer because like I don't have like kids and traditions and junk like that. Like me and Toot can celebrate the day before or the day after, it's totally fine. So I would like work Christmas morning and it was the best. Working Christmas morning was the best way to spend Christmas for me. Anyways, but yeah. I was gonna say something else about businesses being closed, and I can't remember what it was. I got completely squirreled. Also, Toot redeemed a hydrate, and I drank, but I didn't actually like acknowledge it. So thank you for the hydrate, Toot. Everyone hydrate as well. And yeah, Christmas is a good time for us to work and stay busy. For sure. Stardew copium incoming. Charles says, I always preferred working on holidays when I could because there'd be less people and I get less overstimulated. Absolutely. Those days when it's like nice and quiet when I worked an office job. Oh, so good. Because there was no one around to bother you. So yeah, we've had a very nice Thanksgiving. Toot streamed this morning. That was a lot of fun. We had some interesting ghosts. Some like spooky jump scares and stuff that that aren't super common. So if I have seen them, I haven't seen them very much. And so that was a lot of fun. And then yeah, I did a little bit of pattern design, worked a little bit on like social media stuff, and just kind of chilled, took the day off. I cooked lunch, guys. I cooked lunch. And like, I know this sounds like not very exciting, but you guys know how much I've struggled with my health, and cooking has been one of those things that is extremely hit or miss whether I'm able to do it in a day. I made meatloaf, sweet potato fries, and green beans. And the meatloaf I made from scratch. The sweet potato fries and the green beans were like frozen, but I made a meal. It had enough for leftovers. I felt so grown up. It was so awesome. I was so happy. All right, let me just catch up on chat a little bit. Moon agrees with Charles that it'd give you excuses to arrive later at parties or leave early. Yup. And Quarter Stitch, what is with us, honestly rather work as well. Yeah. Yup. You're giving me a strong buff frog. The meatloaf recipe that we use, it's from Budget Bites, if you guys are familiar with that website. It is oh, hi. Bye, camera. Please hold. No webcam, please come back. Okay, we're back. Thank you. My mic went as well? Oh no. Okay, is the mic okay now? I'm getting input. Okay, mic is good. Gwen can hear me. Okay, good. Phew. We're not cursed. Yes, I was talking about our meatloaf recipe. It's from Budget Bites. It's a sheet pan recipe, so like you do everything on a sheet pan. Just like put down some tinfoil or whatever, and then you make like little individual sized meatloaves, and then like you roast all the veggies and stuff on the same pan, so there's like not a ton of cleanup. And the meatloaves, you put barbecue sauce in them. They end up like really like moist but still cooked through. Oh, so good. So it's called, I think it's just called sheet pan meatloaf on Budget Bites. Yeah, it was very good. I don't know if she gets you to make mini meatloaves or if that's just a thing that I started doing, but I'll divide it up into like 2 or 3 tiny meatloaves for each of us. And Toot and Moon having fun with our acronym of the day. I got a knot. Okay, the tiny meatloaves are part of the recipe. Thank you. But yeah, acronym of the day. We haven't done it in a while. I don't think I actually updated it today, but it was WOTY. So if you can come up with a possible alternate meaning for that, that's what the acronym game is. Wonderful opening today, yes. And Charles doing a spin. I should have known. All right. All right, guys, let's do a little spinny spin here. If it comes up Dino Forest again, I will respin. Okay, chat picks. So Toot, if you could put up a 1-minute poll for me there, I would appreciate you. Ooting yab yabba dabba doo. Toot is just a song from the 50s now. So I'm just leaving it up there for a minute so you guys can see the options. The options are Dinosaur Forest, Banks, a new start, or a sneak peek at an upcoming pattern. Thank you, Toot. Alright, Quarter Stitch putting in 1 vote for new start, so I don't know if I can actually add that in, but alright, that's gonna count that in. And yeah, I love this lo-fi playlist. This is the special. Oh, you used your vote for it? Okay. This is the new Halloween playlist. And the nice thing about the playlists and the like decorations and stuff for the seasonal, they don't go away. So I can listen to this playlist all year. All right, so we're doing Sneak 'em Peek 'em. Thank you so much. Thank you, Toot, for doing that. So let's jump back over here. Right, so this is a pattern that is going to go up in the Etsy Coffee Stitch Witch store, not this Saturday, but next Saturday. I am almost finished. It is another cute little sampler. It's smaller than Fruit Bat Summer. It is a squirrel themed sampler. You might be able to get kind of the idea here. So I'm just working on so I'm almost finished. I just have, like, this is the corner, and then so I need to do the frame down here and then finish the phrase, which will be HGI, HI, and then what was I do squirrel. So that's, I'm really close. I'm like 300 stitches away from finishing this guy, which is exciting. It is the ADHD sampler. And actually, I don't know how well you can see it, but the letters A, D, H, and then the D that'll be here are picked out in the copper color of the squirrel. They're not in the same rosewood color of the rest of the text. Thank you guys so much. Bibliocat says squirrels. Toot says squirrel. Carl says ADHD sampler. Brienne says so cute. Thank you, thank you. And thank you, Quarter Stitch. Quarter Stitch also liking the squirrels. I had a lot of fun designing this one. I think it's simple, but it gets the joke across nicely. And it's also just a really pretty little piece. You know what I mean? Orchid pointing out that I am the ADHDH. Yes. What actually gave me the idea in the first place was I learned about a tradition or just something that a lot of people who make samplers do. And because most samplers have like these bands of alphabets, basically. Like that's what a lot of them are. Alphabets in different sizes, different fonts. So people will stitch their own initials in a different color. So kind of like signing it without adding anything else. So that was kind of the inspiration for that. But the first kind of pass through, it was just an alphabet with the ADHD. But then there was no second D, right? And I kind of wanted it to be like you get distracted halfway through the alphabet. And it's like, wait, what was I doing? You get to like K and then you're like, what? So yeah. And you would not believe, so I'm gonna try and bring this closer to the camera here. So my little squirrel guys, I went back and forth so many times. Eyes or no eyes? Eyes or no eyes? That was like a big decision for me. But we have been going about half an hour, which means it is break time. So get up, stretch, grab your pets. No, that's not what I meant. Get something to drink, get something to eat. I'm gonna mute and we'll see you back here in about 3 minutes. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a good little break. So Orchid has a question. Why samplers? So I'm by no means an expert. There is a really interesting floss tuber whose name I cannot remember, but she's quite well versed on kind of the history of samplers. But basically, going back, you know, a few hundred years since the dawn of needlepoint and embroidery, little girls would have to prove that they were good enough at their needlework to be allowed to do it on like things for the household. So they would often stitch a sampler, and it would just be like they'd have to show how neat they could do the alphabet, and then they like would do a little house or something, and then they'd kind of sign their name, and it was just to show off their own skills. So a lot of them you'll see from like 8 or 9 or 10 years old. So that was kind of like why samplers in the first place. It was homework, basically. It was like, you know, when you have to do the handwriting homework and you just trace the lines, it was homework. Now samplers are just kind of a stylistic choice. Some people really like the look of them. I like the look of them too. Honestly, I do. I like kind of the old-fashioned-y look. And a lot of people are very into reproduction samplers. So that would be taking the examples that we have of samplers from like the 1800s, the early 1900s, and faithfully reproducing them for modern audiences, and then also providing some information on the little girl who stitched it in the first place. So that's the idea behind samplers. And then Moon asks, what's the difference between samplers and Quakers? So samplers is kind of like an umbrella term. So most Quakers are samplers, but not all samplers are Quakers, if that makes sense. And Quaker is just a specific style. It's often, you've got like the octagonal motifs. They have the little people in them, and then usually the letters are more spread out among the sampler instead of in rows. So you've got like Quaker, you've got Dutch, you've got band samplers. There's all kinds of different styles of samplers. But again, I am not an expert by any means. Let me see if I can find real quick the name of that YouTube channel that I was thinking of, because she's very interesting to watch. Please let nothing auto start here. Karen Combs Studio is the name of the YouTuber I was thinking of. So yes, so that's that's kind of the history of samplers. And then as to the why people stitch them, because they think they're neat. That's and yeah, a lot of people like using the sampler style as kind of a as being able to do it with a twist. So you'll see like may the alien overlords take this home last in a sampler style. So yeah, that's kind of the idea. Anyways, so it's just a style now, but they started off as little kids homework, which is really interesting because I don't know if it was Karen Combs or Pam the Stitcher who was talking about the fact that the existing samplers we have, the colors are quite muted. You know, there's a lot of like browns and grays and like pale pinks and things like that, but that's because they're hundreds of years old. So back when they were first stitched, thank you so much for the hydrate, Toot. Back when they were first stitched, they were like bright orange and reds and purples and really like vibrant colors that little girls would like. And now we think of them as very like muted and very, very demure, very mindful. Whereas when they were first stitched, they would have been really vibrant. You think samplers look really cute and pretty, but you haven't felt the urge to do one yourself? Totally valid. It's 100% a style choice. Like, some people love doing them and some people do only them. And some people, you know, do one or two and they're like, okay, yeah, I did mine, I'm done. Yes, baby little cat, like the Greek statues. A lot of people think of like the Elgin marbles when they think of Greek statues as just being very my brain just shorted out. Whereas where they were actually quite vibrantly painted when they were first created, built, carved. And thank you, Charles, for that info. Before the 1850s, there were only natural dyes. They usually fade quickly. And even the first synthetic dyes faded fast. So yeah, that's yeah, I honestly, I don't know the archival value of modern threads, and I don't know if anyone really knows, because we haven't had them that long. We haven't had them long enough to find out. But yeah, Cheryl, you're totally right. That's why a lot of them faded quickly. Cheryl says modern dyes will still fade in sunlight or if they're washed a lot, but they are much more light and wash fast than natural dyes. Interesting. That's really good to know. Because I know, Cheryl, that you used to dye yarn quite a bit. So I will defer to your wisdom there. And yes, Baby Cats, the Terracotta Warriors as well. Pretty much anything from ye olden times was probably a lot brighter and more colorful than we think it was. Yes, Orchid, what is your question? Thank you for raising your hand. Cheryl, thank you for the spin. Let me just finish this little row of stitches. I think I did more talking about samplers than actual stitching on samplers during that, but we also had our little break, so. Everybody likes the wheel, Cheryl. I think I am for the next little while anyways. I'm gonna keep Monday as a wheel day because I like doing it and I usually have the energy for it. It's just, it's slightly more labor intensive for a stream, for obvious reasons. Orchid says, the other day I was stitching the Sal and Mr. Orchid had a friend over and he asked if I was doing needlepoint. I said I was cross stitching, but then he asked what the difference was and I couldn't find concrete answers. That's a bit of a tough one, and other people can definitely chime in. As far as I understand it, needlepoint is kind of the overarching umbrella term, and things like cross stitch and embroidery fit it, and needlepoint fit into that, because needlepoint also refers to a really specific thing where you have like half cross stitches, like Charles just said. And it uses like a wool yarn, and it's usually on a printed thing. I don't 100% know is the answer to your question, unfortunately. All right, so let's spin the wheel for Charles here. As Toot said, it's wheelie wheelie fun. All right, is it going to be the sneak peek? Is it going to be Binks? It's going to be Binks. All right. So yeah, there are two. So like most people in the hobby would not refer to needlepoint and cross stitch as being the same thing, but people outside the hobby like technically cross stitches. Yeah, needlework might be a better umbrella term, but needlework and needlepoint are quite interchangeable. Anyways, there are all types of needlework. Needlepoint would be more the thick wool and the printed kits and hand stitch. Has Pow come out of her cave yet? No, she hasn't. Okay, I was just checking on her. And yes, Charles, the Binks colors are so lovely. Like, I love this palette. Like, I don't know how well you guys can see it. It's let me just spill them all out, but it's like all these purples and grapes and these beautiful plum colors, and then like a really dark blue and this bright yellow. Oh, you haven't seen her before? Yeah, I haven't been working on her as much as I wanted to. I've been doing so much stuff with this, with the shop samples and things. Oh god, I'm so behind on chat. Orchid says, I found a Reddit thread talking about it, and they said that needlepoint fabric is very stiff and very expensive. That is very true. Usually you only get it as kits. Moon says, in French we call it petit point. Yeah, I've heard it called that in English as well. Quinn says, I want to go to bed so bad, but you have to stay up until your friend is available to swap cars. Oh no. Oh, that I haven't seen her was about Pow. You can almost see her. Let me. Oh, she just tucked her head back in. Of course she did. All right, if you look, oops, not what I meant to do. If you look at the very bottom corner of the screen, like where the and the thecozydh, just straight up from that, you may occasionally see her nose. She's in her hide and she's like lurking. So she'll come out, she'll stick her head out and then go back in. She'll stick her head out and go back in. I did see her come out and yawn earlier today, so she's in there. She's just being a little bit difficult. Morgan says DH has so much stuff for the shop and so many other things because oh heck. I was gonna tell you to shut up, but that sounded like really rude, so I oh heck at you. What color do I have? I have 550. Okay. Charles says, I'm surprised she's ever not difficult. I don't think she is ever not difficult. I think it's when we're planning for her to be difficult that she cooperates. Yesterday she was wearing her her food dish as a tent. It says I stitched 13 stitches. Are all those loose threads floats? No, they are not. Oh god, the lighting is so bad for this. Okay, so these are what's called parking, and I don't really like parking, honestly, because it's a bit of a mess. But I'm working this on a diagonal. Like you can see, there's a very sharp line here. So yeah, so they're parking. And I have them all kind of like coiled up and tucked away into this because we have demons who will eat them. The only reason that I'm parking on this piece is because there's like, as you can see, I have 3 strands parked. If I was doing like something where it required 20 strands or more, I would not park. Girl says if I tried that, it would be knots forever. Yeah, it's sometimes not so fun. And I think as I get more into it, I might just fasten off the threads as I do the diagonals, but because each diagonal right now is so short, but the glasses are coming off. We know we mean business now. Okay. Oh no, Toot told on us. It says a little behind the scene look, but every time y'all say something nice like that, we save it in a channel in our personal server for the days when imposter syndrome comes knocking. So thank you all. You mean the world to both of us. Yeah. So every time you guys say something nice to us, it's screenshotted and saved, and we appreciate you all. But also, heck. So, and then these other like little tiny bits of threads is I'm trying a method of starting and stopping threads using like the waist knot technique. Basically you tie a knot in your thread and then you stick it through the front of your fabric, like away from where you're working, and go under and then start working with it, with the idea that as you fill in stitches, you'll stitch over the end, and then when you get close to this, you can just snip it and the end's all secured on the back. Orchid says, you guys are both so lovely, and I love seeing you support each other so much and hosting such a great community. Thank you, Orchid. You are so appreciated. Everyone in this community is so, so appreciated. I mean, the support you've shown me and Toot, and just... it's been amazing. It's been literally life-changing for us. And you don't know how much we appreciate you. So heck. Hi Nuke, welcome back. I don't know if this is going to be if this is going to be a good stream project long term, or if I need to figure out a different lighting situation. I realized, so it's not so much the fact that I'm stitching on black Ada, because I have no problem with the yellow or the plums, but the dark purples are so similar in shade to the black that I have difficulty telling them apart. Then I realized, if I clean my glasses, it gets easier to see. Who would have thought? You've never seen this whip? What is it? So this is a full coverage piece that is my Binksy girl. I just started it. Let me see if I can show you the no, that's not what I meant. All right. If I turn it full towards the camera, you can't see anything. But this is the mock-up. So you can see I'm like just at this very top little bit here. I will tell you how many stitches in a second. I think it's like 50,000. It's not nearly as many as it could be. So yeah, so this is my little Banksy girl. So yeah. And yes, Moon is telling on me about the conversation we had. It is... Oh, it's only 20,000 stitches. Yeah, 20,000. Gwen says clean glasses, what a novel concept. And yeah, Moon and I had a conversation and she was saying that she obsessively cleans her glasses, and like I honestly don't clean my glasses for days because I don't notice they're dirty. And my theory is that people with really bad eyesight kind of don't see the smudges, like, because it's just it's just like part of our vision. I don't know. All right, bye Gwen, have a good night. And yeah, like Orchid says, I can take dirty glasses until I take them off and then put them on again, because like I take these off and it's like, okay, and then I look at them and it's like, oh, that's foul, and then I put them on and I can see all the smudges. But then like a minute later I've forgotten about the smudges again. And thank you, Moon, talking about the recolor I did for Banks. So yes, so I bought this pattern and I ended up tweaking it quite a bit. So I didn't tweak kind of the design at all. Oh my god, I need to take off the glasses again. I tweaked it. I didn't tweak the design much, except for around the moon. I took out some of the background. And then I also tweaked the colors. So I really liked that the cat, it's clearly a black cat, but it's not shades of black and gray. It's shades of black and purple. Adore that. But the pumpkins were very pink. Like, because in the context of the piece, you could tell that they're pumpkins. They read more orange, but when you looked at the actual colors that were in them, it was all pinks. So I recolored them to be more vibrant oranges, and like oranges and golds and topaz and yellows. So yeah, that was really fun. I like doing that. That's one of the things I like about cross stitch is, even if you're working off of a pattern that you've purchased or a pattern someone else has designed, there's always ways to make it your own. Always. Hey Pecan Pie, welcome in. And I know a lot of stitchers, especially at the beginning, don't like to make adjustments to patterns, especially on the fly. But I definitely encourage you to, if there's an aspect of something that you don't like, or you think would be nicer in a different color, feel free to switch it up. Nuke says, what software do you use to design? We've been wanting to design some small stuff, but I don't know where to start. So the program I use now is called WinStitch. It is great. But it's also kind of pricey. So if you're just looking to do things small for yourself, I would recommend a website called Stitch Fiddle. The basic plan is free. It's got tons of features. If you look back through the VODs on the YouTube channel, I've done design with me's using both programs. So you can kind of see how they are. But yeah, it would be Stitch Fiddle. So fiddle like the musical instrument. That's where I would recommend you start. Oh, thank you, Toot, for the link. And honestly, I still use it because it has a great feature that WinStitch does not have, or at least if WinStitch has it, I haven't found it yet. But if you put in a hex code, it will pull the nearest DMC color, which is really great if you're working off of a reference piece. Like when I was doing the Valorant Agent minis, one thing I really love about Valorant is that it's, you know, it's very multicultural. So there's tons of skin tones, and so I really had fun matching the skin tones to the hex codes to the DMC colors. But yeah, you've used it for knitting stretchy. Yeah, so use it for cross stitch too. I would. Charles says I like the colors, but I also like spinning the wheel. Oh, and then Orchid did it. All right. So let me just tick off what I've done, because I didn't do that on the last spin, and I'm probably going to regret it. But I will regret it more on this piece. But yeah, the colors on this are just absolutely gorgeous. Chaos is an option. Chaos it is. All right. Theo Cat says chaos is always an option. Honestly, I almost said Toot says chaos is always an option, because that sounded like something Toot would say. Oh, okay. Away we go. Gonna take a little sip. All right, I'm gonna spin again so that we don't have any doubles. Oh, and it lands on new start. All right. Orchid says I don't even have one I'm rooting for it to land on anymore. I'm just rooting for chaos. I was gonna say I got both, but the rules. All right, so let's load up a new start here, shall we? You want to do some Stardew Valley related stitches, but you're struggling to find a pattern that works with what you want. It needs to go on a dark blue wall and fit with the general vibe. Yeah. Do you think you'll try to make it yourself? Good idea. If you haven't already, there is a book of Stardew Valley cross stitch, and even if you don't like the patterns in it per se, the author did provide a really well written kind of tutorial guide on turning pixel art, or pixel not pixel art, but like pixel generated characters from pixels into cross stitch, like condensing the number of colors and that kind of thing. So that would be a good read. I think it's just called Stardew Valley cross stitch. Toot pulling it up for you there. And yes, Toot is working on a Stardew Stitch right now. Pearl says a huge one. It is a huge one. Thank you, Toot, for doing that. It is a Stardew Valley that I've designed. I've designed a few different Stardew Valleys. So there are some in the shop, the coffee shop and the Etsy shop, if you want to check out the links. And there's a little freebie on the coffee shop that was Stardew related. It was just the raccoon wife. So yeah. All right. Orchid says I have a pattern for the wizard's tower. Well, that's cool. And one of the traveling cart you've been wanting to do. Yes. Oh, this is Binks. Why? I don't want Binks. Okay. So yes, so if you're interested, go check out the shops. By the way, speaking of the shop, I did put up a new pattern on Saturday. It was a little like pumpkin spice latte drink pattern. It was super cute. It's actually the first in a series of like seasonal drink related drinks. Something is moving in Pow's enclosure. Hang on. Yep, that's Pow. You can see her down in the bottom there. Just her little snoot and one eye. Orchid says they are both free from Natbug on coffee if anyone's interested. Oh great, thank you for the resource. And there she goes again. She's gone. Yeah, she's trouble. No treat eat, break skateboard. Yeah, no treat eat. She did get her favorite food today though, so I'm not feeling too upset about not getting her a treat today. All right, so I'm doing a new start. No pellets. Chicken is a sometimes treat. But her favorite like food is her pellets, honestly. We have a dried diet that we feed her as kind of like a backup slash treat diet. It was originally meant to just be a backup diet if we didn't have fresh in the house, but she loves it, so I give it to her for treats. And it's like one of those like compressed pellets of nutrients and stuff. Tortoise chow, exactly. Orchid says no gamble, break skateboard. Yeah, that's Orchid in every stream that isn't a gambling stream. It wishes Bachelor Chow from Futurama was real. Nuke says thanks for the suggestion. The book does look really nice, so it might go on my Christmas wish list. Oh, nice. And actually, the author is a member of our Discord server, so if you do have any questions or anything like that, when if they pop around, you can definitely ask them. Would like stovetop stuffing kind of be like Bachelor Chow? Because you pretty much just add water. You wonder if they make monkey or ape pellets for zoos. I don't know if they do. The Toronto Zoo's food budget is $1 million a year, and it's mostly paid for out of the parking fees. And they have, what was it, over 400 different diets that they make every day? This has been your fun Toronto Zoo fact. We actually went to the zoo last week, Thursday. A lot of fun. We just kind of... Toot says, I have no idea. I no longer listen on the Zoomobile. But yeah, it was nice. We went, we rode the Zoomobile around. And then we just parked by the... Arctic wolves. And we had a really nice spot. We had like really comfy chairs. And we had a great view of the wolves, and there were birds, and we saw a dragonfly. It was so chill, and we like stitched for a little bit and then came home. You found a Missouri primate mix? That is incredible. The pellets that Toot eats, no, the pellets that Pow eats are Missouri as well. That's amazing. Quarter Stitch says that sounds low for a zoo. Yeah, I don't know. Like it does sound, it sounds both high and low at the same time. They do grow there. So the Toronto Zoo's greenhouse collection is actually worth more than the animal collection in terms of like insurable value. So they do grow a lot of their own food. Yeah, which is really cool. I love that I started this like 8 minutes ago and no one has asked me about it yet. We've just been talking about zoos. Who says it is now that the pandas are no longer on loan to us? Right. So when we had the pandas, that pushed the animals, the value of the animals higher than the greenhouse collection. The greenhouse actually had a corpse flower, which you've probably seen one, like a picture of one or art of one, but you've probably never seen them in person because they bloom very, very rarely, but they stink when they're blooming. We actually got to go and see it when it was blooming. It was a very rare event. It was cool. Charles with the I'll buy it. So my new start. It's a very, very tiny start. This is a very tiny pattern. It's only about 500 stitches. It is called Crow Quaker. It's by Sprouting Lupine Designs. And it's just a cute little, like, I'm starting in the middle, so it's got like a flower here, and then it's got like crows here. And it's actually kind of an experiment on my part. I want to try out making fabric trays from cross stitch, which is another idea I got from Sarithri. But I kind of like didn't have any good ideas for what I wanted in the center of my own fabric tray. And I have so many other design projects going on right now that I didn't want to devote the brain power to it. So I just wanted a nice, like, small project that could be the base of my tray. So I picked this one. It's a freebie from Sprouting Lupine. Still available if you sign up to her mailing list, I believe. She says they're so big. Yes, the corpse flowers are truly gigantic. It's quite surprising, actually. And the zoo is doing Boo at the Zoo, I believe. Yeah. Toot just answered. They're doing a Boo at the Zoo, and they like give the animals pumpkins, and they've decorated. There's a ton of like pumpkins and fall stuff around. But yeah, and a nighttime wolf howl, which, so like you go into the zoo at night and you kind of get to see the different animals that have different behaviors at nighttime, which is just really cool. And I think Boo at the Zoo is more of like a kids event, but it involves like dressing up in costume and running around to different animal enclosures and getting candy and stuff. Kind of like trick-or-treating at the zoo. Oh, and for this project, I am using another little bit of the hand-dyed purple Ada. I am trying to get as many projects as I can out of this. And also I thought this would just look really cool because I couldn't use black because the crows are black and I didn't really want to turn them into white crows. But I also didn't want to use white either, so I think this purple will be a really nice compromise. Charlotte says maybe some primate biscuits. Maybe. Just drop those in the kids' baskets. And yes, Toot mentioning we went to Boo at the Zoo at Seneca Park Zoo, which if you guys are in like upstate New York and you're anywhere near Seneca Park Zoo is amazing. It's phenomenal. One of our favorite zoos that we've ever been to. It's a smaller zoo, but it's really good. But yeah, we went to Boo at the Zoo there, and the 501st was there, which, if you don't know, is a stormtrooper, not squadron, not legion. Contingent? Legion? Is it a legion? But basically it's stormtroopers who dress up in Star Wars and go to various events as Star Wars. Italian? Maybe. I can't remember. Company? Might be company. It's Legion. Okay, it is Legion. I was wrong. But yeah, so they dress up in like really realistic Star Wars costumes and go and do like various kids events, or just various events in general. Like I've seen them marching in pride parades. They work security for an anime convention I went to. And they had a very accurate looking R2-D2 that was like remote controlled, but the guy who was remote controlling it was like super subtle about it, so the kids all thought it was real. Can't be in that end. It was really cute. He was kind of leaning against, I think he was dressed up as the Mandalorian, or maybe Boba Fett. I think it was Boba Fett, because I think this was pre-Mandalorian. He was kind of like leaning against the wall with his hands crossed like that, and he had the remote control like in this hand, so he was just kind of like doing the remote control like this. It was really cute because all the kids were just going nuts for it. And yes, Seneca Park is near Rochester, as Toot said. 501st, they're a cool group. That was the other thing I was going to say when we were talking about closures on holidays. The Toronto Zoo is only closed one day a year. That is Christmas Day, because the reindeer are busy. So that's why they close on Christmas Day. We have a small caribou herd. They're all females, I believe. I don't think we have any boys. But I love watching the caribou too, because they're always interesting. Yes, Cheryl, we have reindeer. We have a small herd of reindeer. And I believe that they do live there. They're not employees. For a while, we had some camels who came in from a different zoo daily to do camel rides. And because they didn't live at the zoo, they commuted daily. They were considered employees and not like residents. And Toot says they usually do a caribou cam in December and occasionally Santa Bigfoots through the background. Yeah. Yeah, if you watch so it'll be on Twitch. I will probably be posting the link because I love watching it. But yeah, it's available on Twitch. And it's just a camera of the caribou enclosure that's up through December. And every now and then Santa appears. And Toot confirming they are all females. Pecan Pie says, there's a small herd of reindeer here in the island somewhere. The place that has them does up the area with decorations, I believe. Oh, cool. Ooh, big sky booms here. Yes, be safe. Hope you don't lose power. And yeah, they stopped doing camel rides at the zoo, which is good. Which is good. I just love the fact that they had camel employees. Or it says, I wish the zoo had a section that was called cat adjacent. Yeah, cat adjacent, and it's just got like hyenas, cheetahs. I'm trying to think. We've got, because the cheetahs, the lions, and the hyenas are all side by each at our zoo. I'm trying to think what else would be in there. Toot says to tell you how close we are to the zoo. I checked the caribou cam to see if it's snowing. Yeah, we can. Yeah, we're that close. We are that close. You were thinking more like the Midwest trio? I don't think I'm familiar with that. Oh, raccoons, possums, skunks. Yeah, those would be cat adjacent as well. Those are down in the Canadian domain though. Well, the raccoons are. I don't think we have possums. We do have a raccoon enclosure though. Foxes, bunnies. And hyenas. Just as long as there's hyenas, I'm down for it. Orchid flying to the Toronto Zoo. Pecan Pie says, well, my building is technically the tallest in the area. We're also beside a large substation. Yeah, that sounds about right. But still, stay safe. It's always scary. And yes, one of Orchid's favorite animals are raccoons. I knew this. Oh, Bibliocat got to tell people about cassowaries today. Cassowaries are like the closest thing we have to dinosaurs on this planet. I am convinced. Orchid, they do not have an amphibian house because everything is arranged by biome, so there are amphibians in pretty much every house. Everybody's talking about animals. I love it. Moon says the Montreal Biodome has a North American section and we have raccoons and beavers. Amazing. And yes, and cassowaries are very cool. They're murder birds. They're amazing. They're so cool looking and also terrifying. Orchid says frog. Yes, we will take you to zoo because so in our zoo there's the Americas is one area, and that has like the beavers, the otters, the frogs, the crocodiles, and then like the polar region. And then the Canada domain is different, and that's like in a different section of the zoo, and that's got like raccoons and bison and grizzly bears and lynxes and moose. I believe we have a moose. I'm not sure though. Oh, that's right, Nuke, you're in Quebec as well. We went to the Granby Zoo in Quebec, and that was a lot of fun. Yes, we have moose. Toot confirms. Toot is my Zoopedia right now. Cheryl says we have beavers or muskrats in the river. Yeah, that would be hard to tell them apart without being able to see their tails. You haven't been there for a while. The last time you went was during the winter. Honestly, like late fall, winter, early spring is the best time to go to the zoo because not a lot of people go to the zoo at that time. And a lot of the animals get more active in the cooler months. And the ones that don't really like the cooler months are inside, so they're nice and warm and also active. I just looked up cassowary, and yes, very cool. You would love to see one from a distance, and a strong fence. Yep, they are legit dinosaurs. Orchid said, I saw a video of someone picking up a honey badger, and it was so cute. You were excited to see what it was. It's just a honey badger. Honey badgers are really cool. I saw a video of a honey badger fighting off, like, was it hyenas or lions? A single honey badger like fought off 3 large cat-like things. Oh goodness, there's so many comments. Everybody's talking about animals. I love this. I love this. Portia says, I went to the Atlanta Aquarium years ago. Highly recommend. At the time, they were only the place to see whale sharks, not in the wild. Oh, that's interesting. Carl says there's also a raccoon that lives in a tree. Yeah, raccoons are, they can be a jump scare for sure. I have a raccoon story in a moment. Nuke says, my parents had a cabin when I was a kid, and someone decided to take some wood from the beaver lodge. And after that, they started crossing the river to cut down our willows. The beavers were out for revenge. And yes, Toot loves aquariums. Aquariums are just so cool. Like, aquariums and zoos are so our happy place. So raccoons and Toronto are kind of like a running gag that you won't see one without the other. It's like, it's our unofficial official animal. And there are some that live in our area, like around our building. And I've seen them before and that kind of thing. So I went downstairs to the dumpsters one day because I had to drop off our recycling. And the dumpster was there and it was open, and I was hearing this banging coming from inside the dumpster. And I was like, okay, there's a raccoon trapped in there. Like, what else could it be? And I was like, I was prepared. I was ready. I was looking around at like the trash around. I'm like, okay, what can I put in there that it can use to get out of the dumpster? And I like kind of crept up on the dumpster, and I very carefully like peeked over the edge so I wouldn't get like a raccoon in the face. And it was the wind banging a hinge on the dumpster. There was no raccoon in there. I was so ready to save the raccoon, and there was no raccoon. We have a raccoon themed park. Yep. I mean, I was ready. I was like, I was reviewing all the videos I'd seen of people helping wild animals stuck in things in my head. You wish you had an aquarium here, Shell says. We had a zoo, but you haven't been since you were disabled. I get that. It might be worth, if you do have a zoo near you, call them and see what kind of accessibility options they have. Our zoo does, they have motorized scooters, they have wheelchairs, they have sensory bags, all kinds of stuff to make your visit a little bit easier. So if that's something that interests you, you might want to give them a call and just see kind of what they have. Too far to walk between the parking lot and the scooters? Yeah, I get that too. I get that too. Everybody's coming to visit the raccoon park. Nuke says, I go to an agricultural college and they did a lot of fauna-friendly landscaping. But now the issue is that it's a bit too good for critters and we have a huge squirrel issue. Oh no. Oh, so weird squirrel fact. Where you guys live, do you have black squirrels? That's my question, first of all. Like, do you have gray squirrels? I know are endemic in North America. Red squirrels are more rare. They're more of a UK thing. Do you have black squirrels? Okay, because I have heard that black squirrels are pretty much only in Ontario. And that my friend from Nova Scotia would love coming up to visit me so they could see the black squirrels. That was like one of the highlights of the trip. So it's actually time for our next break. I can't believe it already. But I will come back and we will continue the squirrel discourse when I come back. So go stretch, go grab a drink, unshrimp, research what kind of squirrels are around your area, and I will see you guys back here in 3 minutes. Hi guys, welcome back. I'm so glad that you actually continued the squirrel discourse. Couple of notes on chat. Yes, Pecan Pie, it was Toronto where the raccoon memorial sprung up. And Orchid, so I okay, I grew up in Ontario, which is kind of but not really in the middle of Canada, like east to west. It's middle-ish. Orchid is far west of me, and my friend who liked the black squirrels are far east of me. So I guess east and west there are tiny squirrels, and in the middle there are very large squirrels. There are very, very large squirrels. So yeah. So I grew up thinking that, you know, squirrels were gray and black and huge chonkers. And then I went down east and they were tiny and gray and reddish, and it was like, huh. One of your favorite squirrel incidents at school is the picture your classmate got of a squirrel pooping on someone's car. You also got one that wasn't skittish at all and started eating our transplants as you were planting them. Oh God. Beyonce, just looked it up. You have gray, southern flying, and fox squirrels. You think the ones you usually see in your neighborhood are fox. Interesting. It is always interesting to look up what your area's native species are, because you might be surprised. Because I was really surprised that we had native snakes and turtles in our area, but we have quite a few different species of them. Thank you for the spinning the wheel, Orchid. Probably you have rubber boas. Oh, that's cool. All right, we got a spin from Orchid. Orchid's pulling for the squirrel sampler now that we're talking about squirrels. So let's see what the wheel, what fate the wheel will decree for us. Orchid, you guessed it. We're going back to squirrels. We're going back to squirrels. Moon says, when I did an internship in 2017, there was a park nearby, and that summer you kept seeing this gray-white squirrel. There is a there's a park in Toronto that famously has albino squirrels in it, and like businesses around there are called like the White Squirrel Cafe and things like that. Oh, Nuke Street has a little turtle crossing sign. And Charles has red squirrels a little bit north of you. Beyonce says, I regret looking it up now because now you know that bobcats are native. You did not need or want to know that. I apologize for this unwanted knowledge. Big kitty. Pet the kitty. Pet the big kitty. Do not pet the big kitty. They are not extra big cuddles. No, nope, nope, nope. No big purr. Speaking of big purr, Bella's here. What was I gonna say? I had another thing to say about squirrels. I love squirrels, man. Oh, the raccoons thing. So I saw a report on the news because I don't watch the news, but the news is always on in our building's lobby, and I went down to get the mail and then I had to sit and catch my breath. And apparently there was a woman whose house was invaded by like a pack of over 100 raccoons. And so she called the police because she's like, there are too many raccoons here, please come and help me. And they showed up and she's like, I've been feeding them since the 80s, but it's never been this bad. Yes, Dion, so the one that I'm doing now is the shop sample. So this will be out not this week, but next week on the shops. Hello, this is the Bella show. No stitching, only Bella. She's settling. It says Moon's gonna come to visit, and we're gonna go to the zoo, and DH will be torn in half trying to keep Toot out of the croc enclosure and Moon out of the big cat enclosures. I know, I'm gonna need those like little kid leashes, backpack leashes. Bella ma'am, this is a drive-through, you can't park here. Moon says no leash, we cannot be contained. You'll run away with Toot on wheels. Oh no. Toot says we can gnaw through those easy peasy. Oh god. What am I gonna get into? Orchid can't come at the same time. That would be too many. Nuke says every once in a while here wild turkeys will cause some chaos. Yeah. Toot says, oh no, the last thing I need is an accomplice. No, what you need is an alibi. Cozy Friends zoo trip. Okay, everybody come to Toronto and we're gonna do a zoo trip. And I'm gonna make you all hold onto the rope like you're in kindergarten. And that's how we'll go through the zoo together. Orchid's just feral in with the raccoons. I know, Charles. I wish you could. Maybe we'll have to go visit you someday. I'm no good at holding the rope. Okay, we'll get you like the like super fancy kid one that has like the loop that goes around the waist. Toot needs both hands for your walker, sorry. Oh guys, you're just being difficult. Too many things to steal my attention. Can you imagine the chaos that this community, like, for all that we're cozy and cool and we'd like spend all of our time crafting, I do not want to get all of you in the same room at the same time. Like, I love you all. Although I think it would be very well fed. Like, we'll get Paola to cater. Because that won't last, we'll break it going in different directions. Work says in kindergarten I did go on a trip to the zoo and they gave us these little cracker things to feed the giraffes and you almost ate it. I mean, how are you gonna know what it tastes like if you don't try it? Our zoo just got the animal, oh, what are they called? The like ride-on animals that you see in malls. They just got those, which is hysterical. And I saw one and it was like this little tiny kid. Like, I'm bad at guessing ages, but I guess he was like no more than 5. And he was like holding onto the ears and he was so excited, and his dad was riding behind him because obviously he couldn't drive it by himself, and the dad just had like sunglasses and a ball cap on and was like driving this giraffe and just looking like completely unperturbed. It was like the most dad thing. It cracked me up. Carl has eaten treats meant for goats. Toot says they're called animal crackers for a reason. Orchid has eaten a questionable amount of different animal foods. It said if they had an elephant one, you would have rented one so fast. I mean, yeah, we could have parked your walker at the rental place. Gotten you on one of those guys. Away you go. Left my butt in the dust. Yeah. No consequences. I'm pretty sure that if I let you unattended on a ride-on animal, there would be consequences. I don't know how long those things last, Orchid. Oh. Toot says not for you, not for me. Toot, is that because you have an auto consequence taker? Beyonce says yes, give us wheels, that can't fail. That reminds me, apparently one of the only times I eloped as a kid was my first time at the zoo, where you decided to take myself and my stroller to the wave pool. Yes, I was about to say, I don't think everyone's heard the consequences story. So before I got sick, like I need a walker now, but before I got sick, I was able-bodied. But Toot was disabled because Toot's been disabled for a long time. So we actually got Toot a wheelchair. And that was how we went to the zoo a few times before I got sick, was Toot was in a wheelchair, I would push her. And it worked out really well. So every time that we would stop, I would remind Toot to put on the brakes, because I don't really want to take away Toot's autonomy when she's in the chair, and like reaching around her to put on the brakes is kind of doing that. But I would remind her to put on the brakes so she doesn't go rolling away. So we stop because I need to take a drink. So we stop and I'm like, okay, Toot, put on the brakes, please. And like, no, I do what I want, and then put on her brakes. And I'm getting my drink out of my backpack. And Toot goes, I do what I want, and undoes her brakes, not realizing that we had stopped on a hill. So she just starts rolling slowly down, not so slowly actually, like medium speed, down this hill away from me, like curving around at an angle directly towards a chain link fence. And I just hear, no, the consequences of my actions. Ooh. And I am dying laughing as the consequences of Toot's actions slowly approach her. It was so funny. Oh, and like the chain link fence was a temporary fence, so there was a big like sign on it that said like caution, and she rolled right into it. It was so funny. No one was hurt. She wasn't in any danger. I could have caught her at any time. I just let her face her own consequences. Orchid says Toot is my favorite creature at the zoo. Yup. It says it's legit one of my favorite stories. Oh, it was so funny. I was dying. It was so funny. I really hope that I'll be able to get to the point again where we're able to go to the zoo like that. Because it was good. It was just nice. Nuke says sometimes the consequences are closer than expected. Yep. Oh, it was just... She was so like, I do what I want, and then instant regret. You, the consequences of my action. Oh, I'm like actually almost crying, remembering. Because I regret nothing. You do it again. Oh, what am I gonna do with you? Oh. Where is Bobbin of Flock? There it is. This is why I'm a little bit afraid of taking Moon and Toot to the zoo at the same time, because same energy. Same energy. And now I can't, like, catch up to them. It's okay to chaos create order. I don't think that's the way it works. I don't think that's the way it works. Trust us, maybe get another person to help. Yeah, I need a supervisor. Next time they see me rolling while going down. Yep, that's that would be Toot energy. Well, actually, so Toot's walker is quite a bit older than mine. Oh no, that's right. Moon could push the wheelchair. Oh no. Oh no. We're in danger. Toot's walker's quite a bit older than mine, and the brakes don't work anymore. So if she were to sit on it, it would just go. It would go. Moon hopping on the back like it's a shopping cart. Oh god. You guys are gonna just like, you're gonna go down. So in the middle of the zoo there's a forest called the Core Woods, and there's like a boardwalk that like kind of meanders through it so you can go down not a huge hill. I'm just picturing these two like going down the hill, breaking through the fence, like up in the air like it's E.T., and just gone into the Core Woods. This Kirby is like me, no brakes. Like that one lawnmower video. Yeah, just, they are free. They are truly cryptids in the woods. Oh god. I don't know if I'm more or less excited for Moon to come and visit now. Dude says this is what DH has to deal with on the reg in the group chat. Oh, good news, Gwen. What's up? You get to go to bed now? You're back. Yay. Hello. Welcome back. We're wrapping up stream in like 10 minutes. Welcome back. Oh, you didn't hit any of the deer? That is very good. Oh, that's so scary. Oh, well, you're driving your friend's car. That's fine. This, for legal purposes, that was a joke. I'm gonna have to vlog it, Deontay. Like, you guys are just gonna need the extra content. Yes, Cheryl, wrecking your car sucks. Do not recommend. Drive carefully in the dark. Do not overdrive your headlights. But we are getting wrapped up soon, so this means that I get to talk at you about stuff. Streams this week. I'm streaming today. Toot is streaming she's streaming Monday, Played Up. Oh my god. Wednesday morning, Played Up. Friday morning, Inscription. Inscription is such a vibe. Like, I really like Played Up, but the music in Inscription is just so good. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 to 12. So definitely check Toot out if you don't already follow. Tiny Witch Sal is still going on. The 4th clue comes out this Thursday. There are 5 clues total. So you're going to get 1 on Thursday and then 1 next week. And the one next week is going to be the final one for this Sal. I have had such a great response to the Sal that there will be more in the future. I haven't nailed down dates or times or anything like that, but this is not the end of the Cozy DH Sals. So if you enjoyed this one, there will be more coming at you. I think that is all. Stream wise, I'm streaming again Friday evening. We are doing 2 Stitchy sessions in the Discord. That's going to be Thursday evening from 4 to 7 p.m. Eastern, and Saturday afternoon 1 to 4 Eastern. And that's just like a voice call hangout in the Discord, totally low pressure. Like if you want to join and you just want to hang out and listen to people talk, you can do that. Don't need to put on your mic, don't need to put on your camera. You can just chill. I should have written down notes. So new pattern went up on Saturday. New pattern is going to go up this next Saturday. I am working on a new YouTube video. I'm hoping to get that out for next week. It is filmed. I just need to edit it. You may have noticed that there hasn't been a new YouTube video for a while. I am kind of like stepping back a little bit from YouTube just because it's a lot of physical and mental labor. And I need to conserve where I can. But there will hopefully be a video coming out next week. Trying to think if there's anything else I needed to talk to you about. I think that's it. But yeah. When I do my little goodbye spiel, definitely check out all the links to all the various shops and stores. And yeah. I will have more news for you guys next week. We're working on a lot of stuff behind the scenes in the background. Just I haven't nailed down all of the details. So yeah, there will be a lot of like big news coming in the next couple of weeks. I want to make sure I've got all my ducks in a row before I tell other people. But yeah, so if Toot and I seem a little bit quiet in the server and around, it is just because we are working on a few things. But yeah, and I am very sorry for missing the Stitchy session on Saturday. I literally lost my voice for all of Saturday. I was so sad I couldn't do the talk. Yeah, super secret thing. I mean, they're not that secret. It's just they're a little bit secret. Toot's never quiet. Toot is always watching. Always. And yes, Orchid, this is what remains of my strawberry Oreo Earl Grey smoothie. You guys hydrated me through the entire stream. I've got like a little tiny bit left, but I don't want to slurp it in case the mic picks it up. Toot says, in the darkness you hear a whisper. Hydrate. Orchid had coconut boba yesterday. Ooh. Cheryl said it's too complicated to imagine what it tastes like. It is and it isn't. Like it's an Earl Grey at the base with like strawberry syrup and Oreo chunks. So it's almost like a milkshake, like an Earl Grey flavored milkshake with strawberry sauce and Oreos in it. If that makes it easier to imagine. It's so good. It is so good. But yeah, so that is... Thank you for the hydrate. It tastes like DH's ADHD. There's just too much going on. Oh. Alright, but that is going to be it for me for today. So let's see if I can remember how to do this. Oh, yeah. Carol says, I think you guys are in the postmodern beverage era. Yeah, I think we're just in the super fancy beverage era. You know, it's whatever. We've got it going on. We like fancy things. The fancier but yeah, Orchid and anyone else, if you have a gong cha near you, try them out. They're so good. So Toot is putting up a bunch of links in both of the chats to all of the things that I was rambling about. To all of the things that I was rambling about. Check out all the links, check out the shop, check out the YouTube. If you're watching on Twitch, please follow on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, please follow on Twitch. And so at this point, I would like everybody who's watching on Twitch to say goodbye to everybody who's watching on YouTube. Everybody who's watching on YouTube, say goodbye to everyone on Twitch. I see Quarter Stitch already said bye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. All right, my friends on YouTube, I will see you in the comment section. I'll see you in the coffee shop. I will see you in the Discord server. But most importantly, my friends, I will see you in my heart. All right, bye guys. Bye-bye. All right, now that it's just us over here on Twitch, Orchid will